Welcome back everyone to our Let's Play series of Open Wheel Manager. So in our last video we had a great race in race number 2. We're here looking at the championship standings for the driver's side of things. Vincenzo is in 8th, Colin in 14th. So very nice work there. Team standings, we are currently sitting in 7th. And it is so important to get these points because there are going to be a lot of teams that will be lucky to get 1 or 2 points over the course of the season, and we were able to pick up 8 points in that race. So that is huge for us. Of course, looking at next season, it's not looking good. Let's take a quick look at some drivers. Let's see, by age, once again, we'll keep it there. Let's see, Sergey didn't want to talk to us. I wonder if that's still the same. No, he's interested in negotiating. Okay, we're very interested in him as well. And so we'll try to give him the same. We'll go 90,000. Can I not? Okay, there really doesn't seem to be much in between here. Okay, let's go 97. That's pretty good for 2 years. Because ultimately we're going to want some better drivers, but let's take our time with that. All right, send offer and sign contract. All right, very good. I missed that the last time we were doing that. So that takes care of both of our drivers. Let's look at our chief designer. And once again, we cannot offer him a contract. That is not what we wanted to see. Let's see. Andrew. Andrew is actually better. Nope, I take that back. I was looking at the wrong column. I thought he was going to be better, but he is not. His speed is still really good. Wow. Okay, so what about, yeah, this quality, that is no good at 5. That is terrible. We're currently at 43, and I really don't want to go down any more from that. You can see here the speed is terrible. The quality is better. So Colin Lane is an option, assuming he's even interested. It shows that he's interested. All right, let's see what we've got here. This is not a bad one either. So I kind of like this. This is pretty good. Well, we cannot offer him a contract. I should have known better. All right, so we just don't have any really good options right now other than Colin. And let's go ahead and 34,000. Okay, that should be perfectly fine. So we've got that taken care of. So we'll keep moving our way along, and hopefully by the end of the season, we'll have everything we need. Because I'm very much looking forward to not having to deal with these contracts on a regular basis. Okay, let's come back under our project. So we're now done with, let's see, what was our most recent one? It was the rear wing, the 3rd iteration of it. So now, let's see, we have 3 iterations of front and rear wing. Underbody, we're about to finish. Gearbox, we're about to finish. The 3rd iteration. So now what do we want to go back to? Brakes we've got. Suspension. Let's go ahead and do cooling and side pods. So we're going to get several iterations done. And that is very good news for us. And in development, I believe the new part we need is our 3rd iteration of the rear wing. Okay, again, it's going to be a little while before we get to that. In fact, let's go to the team overview and see. We've got 5 weeks left until we get more engineers, 15 weeks for commercial, and 5 more weeks for design. Okay, that's not bad. That's not bad at all. I mean, of course, we'd like to have it right now, but since that's not exactly an option, then we're going to be okay. All right, so nothing going on this particular week. So let's go ahead and move through since we got everything queued up and almost done with the underbody. Let's see, our development looking pretty good. So it's going to take another week until those are done. So let's go into car setup and let's make sure that we're ready to go for Belgium. So front wing looks like everything is basically at 100 or very close. Yeah, on condition, so that's good. And let's see, as I scroll down through, it looks like everything is good. My eyes are starting to cross from looking at these. These all start to blend in together. But I think we're in good shape. So we're going to have this same level of car that we had in the previous race. And let's see. So we got Belgium coming up. Let's go ahead and click on continue. And let's see what we got. So 9th and 19th. Okay. So once again, not the most wonderful setup. Let's see. What do we want to do for strategy? So we got 44 laps. And instantly I'm thinking, why can't we do this in one stop? And so we've got a couple options. We could do hard tire and push, medium tire and not push. So to keep things simple, let's try out medium tire and not pushing. Let's go ahead and give them 24 laps of fuel, a little bit of extra fuel. May not be able to push at all, but that's okay if we can't. And let's see here. We can go about 17 laps. Wow. So if we do 15, 15, and 14, I think that would be a way to go, but we don't have enough tires to do that. So I think what we're going to do is I like the 15 laps here. And what we'll do is we'll start and we'll use up our 2 sets of soft tires. And that'll get us around lap 30. And then we'll just simply put on a set of medium tires and we'll just push like crazy in that last stint. So I kind of like that. So we're not going to be pushing the engine, it looks like, on either of these cars. At least not the way it's looking anyway. Okay, let's let these guys get going just a second. All right, so we're going to have him pit on lap 15 and put another, let's see. Yeah, that's fine. We'll just go with the same thing as we're doing this time. So go ahead and save that. Then we'll add another pit stop that he's going to make to put on medium tires around lap 30. Let's go 29 on that one. And then once we pit, at that point, we'll need about 15 laps of fuel. We'll do 17 just to make sure we've got enough. Although, man, that's going to be close. That's going to be very close. So let's go ahead and, oops, we can actually use that one. Okay, now let's set up Colin. And of course, we're going to go halfway through the race here with him. So we're going to pit on 23. And that should give us about right there. And we'll swap him over to another set of mediums. Even though we might be able to get by with the soft, just not sure. We're on the edge on the soft. So let's go ahead, medium there. And I think we're okay. Time will tell. Let's go ahead and get to our fast forward level. I'm hoping long term there will be an additional fast forward level, or this one will be adjusted somehow, because it seems like we need one more in between where we are now and this final one. All right, so right now we are not pushing at all. And I want to push. Let's go ahead and push right here and see if we can make up any ground here early on. This might be the kiss of death to our strategy. But keep in mind, we only need to go 15 laps max. So pushing a little bit here early might not be the end of the world. All right, so it looks like we've gotten clear at least a little bit here at the beginning. Okay, so we'll back off. a little bit. I don't really want to push the fuel just yet. We will probably wait till about one lap to go. So around lap 14 or 15 where we'll think about that. Okay, so right now sitting 8th and 18th. So not terrible. Certainly not where we want to be, but I think we're going to gain some spots here with Colin based on our strategy. But again, we'll just have to see how that goes. I'm seeing up front, I'm seeing a lot of medium tires, so that makes me think that some of these guys are going to try to do this on one stop up front, which is not good news for us. Especially considering the fact that we don't seem to have the pace of these guys in front of us, and the guys behind us are basically running what we're running. So from about 8th to 12th or 13th, it is very tight on speed. All right, so after lap 6, or as we're working lap 6 now, we're looking good on tire. Okay, we're not quite halfway through the stint, and we're looking pretty good on tire. And again, what I want to do is hopefully have enough fuel and tire left at the very end of the stint to go ahead and push at the very end, but I don't want to push right now and come up short. All right, so Colin, 78% tire, looking really good. Of course, he's got a long way to go to lap 23, so we're going to be easy on his tires as well. He is in the middle of a hornet's nest right here. There is a lot of fighting going on. But fortunately, Vincenzo is in a little bit of clean air in front of him particularly. All right, fuel looks like it's going to be pretty close on him. I'm not sure if we're going to actually be able to push. However, our tire is looking, this is going to be close, it would appear. So we just started lap 9, so that's helpful because we were on lap 8, which is roughly halfway through the stint, a little bit past it, and we were dangerously close to 50% tire remaining. So I was getting a little worried that maybe we weren't going to be able to make it the full stint without having to back off and save some tire. But so far, so good. Lap 10, we're working now, and we're at 51%, so that's good. That's good. About 5 more laps to go. And let's see how we're doing over here. 67%. And we're coming up on halfway through his stint as well. So tire life is looking good on Colin as well. So far, so good. I feel like we're basically optimizing what we have, and we're not pushing in any way. We're not using any of these options to push. We're just letting the car and driver do what they do. And so far, that's gotten us to 8th and 19th. Looks like we've got pit stops starting right now, which makes sense. A little bit early for us, but these guys are in on lap 12. Wow. That is quite early, but they're probably planning on doing a longer stint on some medium tires, or looks like I see a hard tire there. Yeah, that's some interesting strategy. I like the fact that the AI are not all doing the same thing. I like the fact that different teams have different strategies. That is very much welcome. Okay, so some clean air here for Vincenzo, and let's go ahead and push with him because his fuel is looking good. We only have a couple more laps for him to complete, and looks like we're in great shape as far as that goes. Same thing here with Colin. He's a few laps to the good on fuel. All right, now that we're really getting down to it, let's go ahead and push these tires as well, at least on Vincenzo. All right, so we're here at lap 15, and we're really pushing about as hard as we can push. No reason to worry about the overtaking right now as we're pretty much in clean air. Lap times look pretty good right now. 54 fours are not bad at all. I see a few in that range, but overall, pretty good. Okay, so we're in. Let's go ahead and back off pushing with Vincenzo. He has some nice clean tracks, so he should be able to run some nice laps. He's not contested in any way right now. So after, I would say if the two stint group has all made their first stop at this point, at least it would appear based on the lap. So we're sitting 10th and 13th, and I will take that. That's not bad. I would like to think we could get top 5, 6, and 7 in every race, but I don't think that's realistic for us, particularly at this point in the season, and maybe at all during this season. But we'll take any of those wonderful finishes anytime we can get them. All right, so next pit stop is going to be on lap 29. So in 11 more laps, we're coming in. So let's go ahead and have him push on the fuel. And the tire, we did okay on the tire. We ended up having a little bit of tire left at the end. So we might be able to push a little bit longer this time around. Okay, getting ever closer, about 4 laps away from Colin's one and only pit stop. And his tire wear is about where I thought it would be, maybe a touch better than I thought it might turn out. All right, more pit stops underway. Looks like we're finishing up, or some of these guys who are going to do one stop are now coming in. Okay, that moves us up a few spots. And all right, let's go ahead and push. Our tire condition at 32%. We've got a couple of laps left, so I think we're good to push there. Fuel looks good. And so far, so good. About 8 laps remaining for Vincenzo before he goes into the pit for his second stop, and 10 laps showing on fuel. So far, so good. These guys are running some pretty nice laps, all things being considered, and we're sitting 7th and 11th. Okay, I'm pretty happy with that. That is nice. So Colin will be coming in very shortly. Let's see, there he is. He's actually got some clean track, it appears, all around him. So he should come in this time. Nope, he's going to make one more. Okay, so he was just starting lap 23. Okay, the leader had already taken 23. Okay, got me a little confused there. I thought he was finishing up lap 23, but he'll be doing that this time around. All right, let's go ahead and turn off him pushing right now, because I don't want to start out the next stint with him pushing. You can see we had 13% tire life remaining, and so we got that. That's down pretty low. I don't know the limits yet at this point, but 13% is getting it pretty low. I think they actually come into pit somewhere around 5% tire remaining. They'll come in automatically in pit. So 13% is pretty low. So I'd say we timed that out pretty good. All right, so Vincenzo, we are now pushing hard with him, and that's because he's going to be pitting on lap 29, and we're here on lap 26, and he still had about 50% tire life remaining. So let's go ahead and have him push. He's sitting firmly in 7th position with really nobody pushing him from behind. We're now sitting here with everybody having made one stop, so we're in good shape. I am very happy at this particular point. 7th position would surely get us at least a point or two out of this race. I can't remember exactly the point breakdown. I'm not used to the Formula One style point system, so it takes me a while to get used to that. But this should at least get us a point or two. All right, down to 33% tire. That is not a problem because we've only got one more lap on these tires. Plenty of fuel left. Okay, so we're pushing as hard as we can. And as I look at our lap times, pretty good. We're at a 54.2 last time by, and that's 7/10, somewhere between a half second and 7/10 faster than the guys that we're racing around. In some cases, even more than that. All right, so here we go. This should be the lap where we're coming in. We're down to 2 liters of fuel left, so this is going to come out really good. 17% tire. Yeah, so this fuel is going to turn out just about perfect. All right, there he comes. So we're going to turn off. Actually, we can still push here because he's going to put on the medium tires, and we only need 14 laps out of these things. So we're going to go ahead and push hard on both the fuel as well as the tire. So we're going to try to maintain what we've got as everybody else will start to come in for their second stop. Okay, let's see how we're doing with Colin. And so he's got 17 laps of fuel, which is plenty. So we'll go ahead and crank up the engine for him. And 12 more laps, about half of a stint. And he's sitting at 74. So let's go ahead and have him push and see what we can do. We need to make up a little time. You can see things have sort of gotten spread out here on the track. And that tends to happen over the course of this many laps and at least one, and in most cases, a couple of pit stops before it's all said and done. So we've got quite a bit of work to do if we're going to make up any positions with Vincenzo, because he is quite a bit behind, and a similar situation with Colin as well. But overall, things look good, so no reason to stop them from pushing at this particular time. I'm hoping we're going to get a few more people up front that come in for another stop. It's not looking good for that, though, because we're getting pretty late into the race. And nobody is coming in, so they might be doing a lot of one-stop strategies. All right, one thing that is continually confusing to me is that there is absolutely no sound that I have gotten in this game to this point. I keep thinking on some screen I'm going to have at least the sound of a click whenever I make a selection, but I've got nothing. I don't know if that's my sound settings. Of course, we don't have an option to adjust sound in the game, so I'm not sure if that's correct, that there's not supposed to be any sound in the game. No music, no clicks, no anything. Not sure. All right. Oh, look at that. 3 cars came in to the pits. Wow, that is going to be a very short final stint for them. The good news for us, that moves us back into the top 7. Now, of course, these guys are going to be coming extremely hard on us, and they are on soft tires. We're on mediums. So we're pushing as hard as we can. We can't really get any more out of our car at this point than what we are, so it'll just have to be what it is at the end. Meanwhile, we've got Colin, who is looking really good. He's eating through some tire right now, so we're going to have to back off probably a little bit on him. But as far as fuel, both of these cars are perfectly fine to continue pushing. All right, I like what I'm seeing. This is some pretty good performance from our cars. And the interesting thing is going to be the fact that we have brand new drivers and crew and everything coming in next year. So that's going to be an entirely different world for us. Our job is to get the best car that we can by the end of the season, so we start out the next season with the best car we possibly can. All right, so really no reason to push at this particular point, particularly with Colin. Now I'm keeping a close eye here for both of these red cars to see if they are running down Vincenzo, and they're really not. They're really not. Last lap, 54.8 for him, and they're in the 55s, so we actually gained a little bit on them, so no reason to push the tires any lower than we have to, because we really don't have anything to gain. Let's see, what are the lap times here? All right, so they were half second to 4 or 5 tenths faster than us this time, but I think we're going to be okay. Not that many laps left to go. Let's go ahead and just make sure. Let's go ahead and push. We might as well. And let's see what we get this time by on the lap times. And so 55.3, 55.1s. All right, so they're probably not going to catch us and pass us running those lap times. All right, quick look on our fuel. A couple of laps left. We still have what should be plenty of fuel. And let's hope we don't go like we did last time where it was like lap 45 of 44. We don't want that. That is no good. All right, so no positions to gain really for either car. Now, we are being chased down by car number 2, but he is in second place. So that's why he is running down Colin at such an accelerated rate. All right, no reason to continue pushing. We're at 20%, 16% on tires. So let's just finish this last lap. And once again, you see 45 of 44 there. But we are all finishing up, and we're going to have just enough fuel to do so. So we cut it pretty nice on the fuel for both cars. A little bit too much here for Colin, but overall, certainly nothing to be worried about. We come home once again, 7th and 12th. Very good finishes. And we pick up 6 points this time. 8 points last race, 6 points this race. We will take it. We will take it. So it looks like you need to finish top 10 to get a point. Okay, so we'll keep that in mind for the future. So we just missed that with our second car. So that's what we're going to work toward. We got more parts and pieces coming. And so I am very excited about the future. Now, the problem we have right now is that these races are coming up pretty quickly. Now, we got a test session in Hungary, so we're not terribly worried about that. But then the very following week, we go to Italy for our next race weekend. So we don't have a lot of time to get development going and get these new parts and pieces produced. Of course, this only highlights the need for as much staff as we can get in this particular area. So we'll be looking in the future, we'll be looking for the engineers. That's what we're going to need. We need those development points. I would like to be able to increase the salary budget for that, but I think we're going to have to put probably more into expansion. So we got 3 weeks left on these, 13 weeks on the commercial. Everything is going great here in season number 1. Thank you very much for joining me, and stay tuned as we will continue our Let's Play series of Open Wheel Manager.